roots and soil. That's the only way to toil. The seeds you keep, those ones you will never reap. Get out and make hay, keep the pride and guilt away. That's the only way to grow.
Hello and welcome to the maiden edition of After Puzzled. This special edition will zoom into the very pertinent issues raised in the TV series Puzzled and how that affects the society directly. And we're going to find out how well we can address some of these issues. This special edition has been segmented into three. The first will give you a link to the preview of some excerpts of a particular episode. The second episode will give the public a voice to address some of these issues and let maybe find out their take on how they understand some of the issues that was dramatized in the drama series. And finally, we'll get legal backings from an expert. My name is Lucia Anna. We begin with our first segment.
How can you be so wicked, Nana? Hey, Mary, how can you be so wicked? Huh? What did you use to beat this poor girl again?
I still don't know what we are doing here.
Oh, you don't know? I will tell you why we are here. We are here to tame you, as it seems me. Your husband, who you are supposed to respect, can no longer tell you what to do.
Oh, please. Don't even bring that respect in here. If you truly understand it, you will see it is important I beat this girl well, so she'll learn respect. Besides, no woman will teach me how to raise my daughter. I repeat, no woman.
Your daughter? She's my daughter too, remember?
Mr. Ma.
Yeah, madam.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, please, have a seat.
Thank you.
I can see Mrs. Someone has already made herself comfortable. So, where do we start?
As I explained on the phone, this woman wants to kill our only daughter. How can someone do such a thing to your own flesh and blood? Nana, get up. Madam, just look at it. Just look at it.
That's enough. Madam, why would you do this to your own daughter?
What did he just say? My daughter and not yours. What is your business in all this? See, I know you. You're very popular and so bloody what? But you know you like to stick this big nose of yours into what does not concern you. But you cannot try it in my house, oh. Not with my family. If I like, I will kill her and give it to another one. What is your business?
Do you know that I can have you arrested?
Oh.
And you have to explain this to the court. And you might face impossible jail time.
Please, madam, it has not gotten to that. Jill, please.
I'm scared. Reason my fault. In which country? Why do you think I will run like Usain Bolt when mentioning prison or what? Sometimes I don't understand women like your type. You don't even have a husband or a child and you yet want to teach me how to run my home? Huh? Is that it? Rubbish.
No.
What nonsense is this? Oh, hey, get up, let's go.
She's not going anywhere.
Will you sit down?
How well did you understand the excerpts that was just previewed? What is your take on the popular advocate? All these and more are some of the questions we'll be finding out from the streets today in the Puzzled Street Quiz, which is the second segment that I'm just about to begin. How do you understand child abuse?
Actually, child abuse is where someone below perhaps the age of 18 years in Ghana here, as I understand. In some countries, some are, I think, 16 and others too are 14. Where they are molested or subjected to any form of treatment that they themselves wouldn't like. Yeah, so that's how I understand child abuse.
Been abused in any form or witness anyone being abused?
Technically, not really, because I grew up with my parents, and in most instances, the children who are abused most of the time they live with other people.
As a youth, what's the right way a child should be corrected? Is it spanking, advice, or which other form?
Spanking is relative, and the child actually has to be corrected. Once you are growing, you are inclined to do something bad. Even as you all know, if a child is, say, perhaps a year old or coming up, the child is just scatters things in the house and inclined to doing something bad. So as the child grows, you have to correct the child in a way. You can spank the child though, but it should be aimed at correcting the child. But it shouldn't be frequent. And I learned recently they've banned caning in schools. And I don't really go with that per se, but fine, they should limit it and they should regulate it, the caning and other things that they do too. Yeah.
Child abuse is treating a child who is not up to 18 years and doing things that is not good to the child. Basically, that's what child abuse is.
So when a child is disobedient or when a child does something bad, in your own understanding, how well do you think a parent or a guardian should correct the child?
Oh, first of all, you talk to the child and give the child advice. If it doesn't take them, maybe you take the necessary steps of maybe calling some other elders to talk to the child so that the child will change from his bad behavior.
So what's your take on parents or guidance and caning, pouring hot water on people staying with them, either their kids or adopted children?
Yes, a child, you should discipline a child, but not about caning. Okay, yeah, you can give the child a punishment. Maybe do this or prevent him from doing certain things that you think the child wants to do. So if you do that, the child will love to behave good, so that next time you can have the chance to do something better.
I go out, I don't come early, then my dad will beat me up. The next time I go, I have to have it in mind that, oh, when I went out the last time, my dad beat me up, so I have to come home early to be okay with everything.
Well, personally, I would go for the carrot and stick approach. You know, you just have to balance it. You don't have to be too rigid and also too permissive. The Bible admonishes us that we should not spare the rod and spoil the child. But personally, anytime I would correct a child, I would want to explain to the child why I'm doing this or that. You know, I think it helps because usually when we're growing up, our mothers will just spank you, you know, reprimand you without really letting you know what your offense is.
Oh, those Accra businesses, oh, I saw what's no, you know. On the right and the left is what you're seeing.
What you understand?
Oh, so I said, Ufa Banford can to Obama. Also,
Trying to answer our answer.
oh, yeah, Ufa about 30 kind of banner bundle. Or the Enfion, I never bundle. What I say.
So, Momo Bunkola, experience you go Musuni Sanya, my then I walk out for home.
Oh, I know more Jimmy will walk to me. I don't question about any yet. What I say. Babu quite because I cry by the Abonia, that I banner day, a bono. In fact, I usually feel good. In fact, it's a kind of bonnet finance in a bono. What I say.
Akolaya bibi na se enya wo wa wo fo na se wo ka wo kire akola no kwan se dia e betimi aboa no.
I think they should be spoken with that they can change from whatever they do, anything bad that they do.
What's your take on child abuse?
Child abuse, well, I think children, they play a very important role in our society, and I don't think children should be abused because when you abuse a child, you physically hurt the person, and then when the person is in trouble or something, he or she might not be able to bring it out to the parents. Yeah.
So normally when children get abused, who do you think is the right place they normally run to, or who do you think they normally go to first to speak to?
I think their parents, especially their mom. Yeah.
So what's your take on children under the age of 18 that are involved in trade like hawking and all of that?
Well, I think they are not supposed to be on the streets for the first, and then the parents should do something about it. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, shame me. Na me akra boni ba na me mokro no. Toto bobo mpelifo.
Na ye bu de bia wo ye bibi boni e bu a as akwala no that time na wadwene e ye wo sen omo pe wa na omo mpe.
Oh, Satam, me am himself, my bonnet, here, shimmy. Eti, walk a bonny out to me cota, wouldn't say the Abba, Obeji. But you call him with an ass, nothing I yet, no one more free, Bibi, our ya bonnet.
Nkolana ya mukotina ebumu nchen na omoye houseboy house girl ad sometimes ye bu omo hwe nsi ogu omo no ade esa nya ma no e de na wo e kan e fa ho.
Oh, eya na eya me ya pi se enipa bi timi treat enkrasa. Ya me busa se wo mo mani bi ana. Because se obi ba e betena won nche na timi hwe nsi ohie timi gu ne so. At least wo jeans as wonye ni party se na wan kasa kra wo so ja na bi to hyewa. Ya hwe se de ti yo. Na timi hwe nsi ohie gu ni party. Ya me nyini se o mo ye nipa. O mo ye sa de no.
I was young. If I do something that is not good, my parents, they discipline me by using cane on me, or at times they will sit me down and then say, Ziggy, this and this is what you are doing, and then we don't like it. And then they will tell me not to do it again. That was how I was trained.
So as you've grown up, how do you see their disciplinary measures? Do you think it was good or a bad measure?
Yeah, I know say it be good because the Bible even tells us that you should train up the child the way it should be, so that when you grow, he will never depart from it. You can do so by using either cane or you set up the child and then you talk like some. So right now, I grew up, I know say it's good because if I were not trained that way, I may either end up doing something that is bad when I grew up like this.
What's your take on madam or bosses that maltreat their house girls or house boys?
That one there is not good because it's a form of child abuse. To me, I don't think it's right. If you pick out somebody speaking and then you say you want kids out for, you for use the right way and then train them. It shouldn't be like because it's not your child, you maltreat them anyhow you want. Because we are all human beings. So if you are doing that thing to somebody's child, bear in mind that maybe one day if you are not there and then somebody is taking care of your own too, that thing that you are doing to somebody's child, the person might also do the same thing to your child too.
Nina bona afia chosi obuken joba na chuanle. Ko na chuanle chosi mo banyo. Shiko yire ndo fele gidigidi ehin. Ko ande fie no ko ba fele blobo wo lenga. Shike no okokma. Bo to ne yama. Ko pe na ke tun ko bolo. Agbeni ni agbe kin tun ko bolo ji. O han le ni ke bibo ne ke nbe ko jehin ya ko fele na gampe. Bo fito bile bo jen choba fito bile chuko na chu hanle ke bande ke no ko mo lo time bo chu eno to mo gbeken ko fele na ko ba na le bo no to shi ko fele na kan be ke ba fiti kura no na le.
Oh, you want to talk, eh?
Madam, sit down.
Who are you to tell?
And listen to me very carefully. Now, I may not have a husband or a child, but what I do have is many years of experience.
That's your business.
This is Accra. She's currently facing 3 years in prison for child molestation and abuse. This, Zaina. See, like you, I warned her to stop abusing her son. But she didn't listen. And he died. Now, she's going to be in prison for life and her whole family is devastated. Oh, but there's more. This is AC. There's Erefua. There's Sewa. All of them in jail.
Madam, it's enough. She will stop.
No, it's not. This is a 7-year-old child whose rights you constantly violate in the name of parenthood.
But just do stop.
No.
Just stop.
Let me finish. Is it okay to scold a child? Yes. But what is not okay is for a father who constantly blames a mother for abusing their child, and a mother who thinks that just because she's been on a 9-month mission can torture her own daughter.
She's too stubborn.
So what? Now listen to me, both of you are now on my radar. Both of you. And nothing gets past my radar. I will be watching you close. If you so much as hit this child, I will personally make it my mission to involve officials of the Domestic Violence and Victims Unit and the Social Welfare Department. And just like that, you'll be prosecuted and lose your child. Do you hear me?
Yes, madam. We will do as you say. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's all your fault.
It's not her
Is it all your fault?
It's not her fault. This child is a gift. I mean, are they impossible? Yes. Are they stubborn? Of course. But that does not give you the right to treat them like objects. Do you hear me? Yes. So you're going to go home, love yourselves, and take care of your family.
Yes, we will do that. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. It's now time for our final segment of After Puzzled. With me is Cornelia Jemfi, an assistant legal advocacy for Youthbridge Foundation, to actually give us some legal backing. Okay, so now let's begin with our first question. What is child abuse?
Child abuse refers to all forms of physical, emotional, and mental ill treatment of children. For example, sexual abuse, physical assaults, maltreatment from the home, everything and anything that would hamper the development and the dignity of a child can be referred to as child abuse. When someone is found guilty of child abuse, the first point of call is to report the person to the DOFS, which is the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit of the Ghana Police Service.
I would like to know your legal backing, or what's your take is on how well or how best to correct children when they go wrong.
The first thing that I would mention is that we need to educate a lot of people on child abuse. Because being on the road for some time now, you realize that some parents do not even know that hitting their child and causing them to have bruises and all that sort is wrong. They feel like I have given birth to the child, so I can do to the child whatever it is I please. But that is not so, that is wrong. So the very first thing that we need to do is that we need to sensitize parents, especially those in the rural communities, those who have not been to school, those who do not read and write, who cannot read and write. Let them know that the fact that you have given birth to this child doesn't mean that you have the sole responsibility or you can do to them whatever it is that you please. The other thing that I would mention is that we should have close social networks, like community networks, because we've realized that sometimes when issues of child rape happens and everything, the community members say that we are going to take the case out of police and out of the court or out of the police system and then deal with it at home. That shouldn't be so. We should let the culprits of these offenses face the full rigors of the law. So see from Puzzled that Coco started by Lydia Force, and she's an advocate for children and for the youth. And the relationship between her and her house help patient, which is Mama Sewa, is contrary to what she projects to be outside. She goes outside talking to people, advocating for children who've been abused, advocating for people who have been raped and everything. But she comes home and the story is rather the opposite. She treats Mama Sewa, which is patient, as she would advise other people not to treat them. She beats her, she doesn't allow her to go to school. And worst of it all, she's actually locked up her own son, who is also physically challenged, in the room and not letting the boy have access to education, friends and all that. So the relationship is something that really goes on in our homes, especially in the rural communities, where parents act a certain way outside, make people believe that everything is fine in the house and everything. But when you go back deep down into whatever goes on in the house, you realize that there's a lot that needs to be done.
So finally, what would you like to say to the public, those watching and learning from you as well?
My final words to the general public would be that we should not encourage child abuse because the effects of child abuse lingers on in the life of a child who has been abused one way or the other. I would also like to thank Youth Bridge Foundation and Osiwa for funding this initiative. And I encourage other NGOs to follow these footsteps because together we can all make the world a better place.